Hi there, welcome to my social science class. This is Asta Mewada back with another topic. In today's video, we are going to focus on an important topic, the government. So let's begin. Let us first see what are the topics that we are going to cover in this video. So basically we are covering three topics in this video. First one, what is government? Second, what are the functions of the government? And number three, the types of government, where we'll be only covering the democratic form of government and the communist form of government. Now we have already studied about how man first lived a life of a hunter-gatherer in groups. Then they shifted to agriculture and started living a settled life. As they were now living in groups, they required laws to govern them and a leader to take decisions. Slowly rose cities like the Indus Valley Civilization, Mesopotamia, Egypt and China. These cities were ruled by kings. Then came industrialization and people started raising their voices against injustice being done to them. And so came in the government to rule the people. So what is government? Government is a person or group of persons that govern a country. The government is needed to ensure that the requirements of the citizens of the country are fulfilled. It acts on behalf of the people by taking the important decisions and implementing these among all the people within its territory. So let us now understand the functions of the government. What is the need for a government? The government is a body or agency which is needed to make decisions for the country. Every country has its own government which governs the country and gets things done for the people. The government takes decisions regarding the construction of roads, canals, bridges, setting up a hospital, or providing housing and electricity facility to people. It takes actions against crimes in the society and maintains peace and order. The modern government also handles social issues like dowry or helps the poorer section of the society. In other words, it works for the social welfare of the people. The government also provides protection to the people of the country against foreign invasion. For this purpose, it maintains the defense forces. It also works to maintain peace with other nations and to promote an exchange of ideas between its own country and other countries. In case of natural calamities like earthquake or cyclone, it provides relief to the people. Providing important services like the postals, railways, banking, etc. is also an important task of the government. Now let us go to the levels of government. We'll understand this through an example. Imagine an entire school of 3000 students being run by a principal alone and no one to assist him. Will the principal be able to do justice to the task entrusted to him, which is providing education to all the students? There would be several issues that would crop up. Besides teaching, a better way to tackle the situation is to divide the task among various people answerable to him, like the vice principal, teachers, peons, bus staff, office staff, etc. Similarly, the government generally has a vast territory to look after, and it has to make decisions on every possible issues. Hence, it becomes difficult for the government to operate from a single point. In India, the task of governance is divided at three levels. At the lowest level, we have the local government, meaning the government in your village, locality, town, or city. So, let us understand what this is. The state has districts, villages, towns, and cities. Cities have lots of people, towns are smaller, and villages are even smaller. The needs of each are different. Each has a different government to look after the details. This is called the local government. The next is the state level government, which covers an entire state like Gujarat, Rajasthan, or Bengal. The country is divided into many states, and each state has a separate government. The state government has to look at what the central government has decided and then, keeping that in mind, decide details for their own state. The state decides how to build roads and railways to connect major cities in the state, what textbooks to make for the students, what local festivals to celebrate, etc. And at the highest level is the central government, which relates to the entire country. The central government has to take decisions keeping in mind the whole country. So the biggest decisions and policies are all decided at the central level. Examples of what the central level does is, government at the central level does is, how India will behave with other countries, what tax the people of India will have to pay, what national highways are needed, etc. Now, coming to the types of government. We are going to basically understand three types of government in this video. Number 1, monarchy. Number 2, democracy. And number 3, communist. Let us take the first type of government, that is the monarchy type of government. History tells us how kings ruled over an area in the ancient times with the collective sanction of the people. These kings were not answerable to the people for their action. This form of government was acceptable in the past. However, it still exists in some countries. Under this form of government, the monarch, that is the king or the queen, has the complete power to run the government and take all important decisions. She or he may consult some small group of people to arrive at a decision, but the ultimate decision making power rests with the monarch, and he or she is not answerable to the people for his or her action or decisions. Now the second form of government, that is democratic government. In today's world, a large number of countries are democracies. The term democracy is derived from the Greek word demos, meaning the people, and kratia, meaning rule of the people. However, people in modern democracy do not rule directly. They elect their representative through elections. These representatives form a government. The rulers are not permanent in a democracy, nor can the rulers be hereditary. India is the world's largest democracy, where elections are held every 5 years. An important aspect of democracy is that it guarantees universal adult franchise. It means that every adult in a country, irrespective of caste, creed, language, religion, and economic status, has the right to vote. In India, every person who is 18 years of age or above is an adult and has the right to vote. Again, in some countries of the world, there is presidential democracy, whereas in India there is parliamentary democracy. Now, what is parliamentary form of government? In this form of government, the Prime Minister is the real head of the government, whereas the President is the executive head of the government. The government is directly elected by the people and remains in power till it enjoys the support of the majority. The Prime Minister is the leader of the party in the parliament and appoints the Council of Ministers. Thus, there is a close coordination between legislature and executive. Now, whereas the presidential form of government, there the president is the real head. He or she is again elected by the people directly. He or she is not responsible to the legislature as he or she is elected directly by the people. And he or she may not be a member of the party that wins the majority in the parliament. An example of democratic form of government, country with a democratic form of government is India, which is the largest democracy in the world. Now coming to the communist form of government. In this type of governance, the importance of equality or similarity is given to all. The government working or operating on the basis of communism manages the system of governance on the basis of equality and similarities. In many countries of the world, the government working on the ideology of communism is seen. In some countries of the world, communist government is formed through election. There are many examples of rulers forming a government based on communist ideology and becoming the sole ruler in the long run. The administration and the governance is done considering economical, ideological, and intellectual equality among workers, laborers, and exploited people. An example of communist form of government is in China.